Introduction: The Stoic Path to Authentic Connection. In today's world, where relationships are often rushed, transactional, or driven by external validation, the timeless wisdom of Stoicism offers a refreshing approach. Stoic philosophy, which has endured for centuries, holds that true strength, peace, and connection come not from seeking validation, approval, or manipulation, but from embodying virtues like self-control, authenticity, and integrity. The Stoic man is not desperate for attention or affection. He is complete within himself, grounded in his worth and values. He understands that genuine relationships are built on respect, honesty, and mutual understanding, not on games or superficial displays. Here are 10 things that men should never do around women, based on Stoic principles that encourage growth, self-respect, and authenticity. These lessons are not just about avoiding negative behavior. They are about cultivating the inner strength to attract meaningful connections and build real, lasting relationships. Chapter 1. Never be desperate for attention or validation. The more you chase, the further it runs from you. Imagine you're out with a group of friends, and there's a man desperately trying to get the attention of a woman. He sends her constant texts, checks his phone every few minutes, and awkwardly seeks her approval through repeated compliments or gestures. His nervousness is palpable. Every word or action seems designed to prove his worth to her. This is not confidence. This is desperation. Stoicism teaches that a man's worth is inherent in his character, not in how others perceive him. Seeking constant validation through attention-seeking behavior is a reflection of insecurity, and it is one of the most unattractive qualities a man can display. When you constantly seek affection, attention, or validation, you broadcast your insecurities to the world. The more you chase it, the more it slips through your fingers. The Stoic man, by contrast, is grounded in self-respect. He knows his worth without needing constant affirmation. He does not chase or grasp. He remains still, confident in who he is. True strength comes from within, and women are drawn to men who exude quiet confidence and self-assurance. You don't need to chase affection. You need to trust that it will come to you naturally. Let her initiate the connection, if she values you. And if she doesn't, you remain unmoved because your worth is not dependent on her validation. The challenge here is simple. Can you be still and confident in your own value? Can you trust that true affection comes naturally, without force, without desperation? Chapter 2. Never reveal your income or status to impress. Your worth is not measured by what you own, but by how you carry yourself. Picture this. 2 men walk into a room. One immediately starts talking about his lucrative job, his high-paying salary, his flashy car, and his extravagant lifestyle. He wants everyone to know his worth based on his financial success. The other man says little, but carries himself with quiet confidence. His presence commands respect, not because of what he owns, but because of how he behaves. In today's world of social media flexing and materialistic displays, it's easy to fall into the trap of equating worth with wealth. However, Stoicism teaches us that true wealth is not in material possessions, but in the character and integrity with which you live your life. When you constantly flaunt your income or possessions, you give away your power. You let others define your worth based on the material things you own. But real wealth, according to Stoicism, is the wealth of virtue, of living according to principles, not things. Think about it this way. When you reveal your income or flaunt your material success, you're essentially saying that your worth is tied to external factors. But true confidence doesn't need external validation. By letting your lifestyle speak for itself, you create an air of mystery and depth. People and women are drawn to the richness of your character, not the size of your bank account. The Stoic challenge here is to avoid seeking validation through your wealth. Instead, let your character, your choices and your actions reveal your true value. When you live with integrity and humility, your life will naturally attract the right kind of attention. Chapter 3. Never seek to impress with empty words. True wisdom is shown through action, not boasts. At a party, you meet a man who constantly talks about his achievements, his job titles, awards, places he's traveled, famous people he knows. It feels like a performance, an attempt to impress, rather than an authentic conversation. As he speaks, you start to feel that the man is more interested in showing off than in connecting. Stoicism teaches that wisdom and virtue are shown through action, not words. The Stoic man does not need to talk about his successes because his actions already speak for him. He does not need to broadcast his accomplishments because he is confident in his abilities and is not reliant on external approval. When you seek to impress others with empty words, you reveal a lack of internal confidence. True wisdom and value are not in what you claim to have done, but in how you live your life. Instead of focusing on impressing others with grandiose stories or boasts, focus on living your life according to your principles. Let your actions, not your words, define your worth. A man of Stoic virtue is someone who speaks less, listens more, and lets his actions define his character. This kind of quiet confidence is magnetic, and people are naturally drawn to those who show, rather than tell, their worth. The challenge here is to reflect on your motivations. Do you speak to impress, or do you speak to connect? Can you trust that your actions will be enough to reveal your value without the need for verbal displays? Chapter 4. Never engage in manipulative behavior. The strongest man is he who can control his emotions and intentions. Imagine a man trying to manipulate a woman's feelings by saying just the right things, at just the right time, in order to get what he wants. His compliments are too calculated, his intentions too obvious. Manipulation, whether emotional, verbal, or psychological, is a sign of weakness, not strength. The Stoics believed in cultivating self-control, and that includes controlling the urge to manipulate others for personal gain. A Stoic man doesn't need to manipulate anyone to get what he wants. Instead, he trusts in his own integrity and the strength of his character. Emotional control is one of the pillars of Stoic wisdom. When you let your emotions dictate your actions, you are vulnerable to manipulation, and the people around you can sense that weakness. Stoicism encourages you to act with virtue and honesty, even in difficult situations. When you try to manipulate others, you compromise your integrity and lose the respect of those around you. Instead, embody self-respect and emotional control. Be honest, kind, and direct in your dealings with others, without hidden motives. The challenge here is to be aware of your intentions. Are you seeking to manipulate or to connect genuinely? Can you be strong enough to allow relationships to form naturally, without trying to control or influence them? Chapter 5. Never expect anything in return for your generosity. True generosity is given without expectation of return. Generosity is a core Stoic virtue. However, many men make the mistake of giving gifts, time, or effort with the expectation of something in return. They may do something for a woman and then expect gratitude, affection, or reciprocation. This expectation can lead to resentment, as the balance of the relationship becomes transactional rather than genuine. Stoicism teaches that true generosity comes from a place of selflessness. A Stoic man gives because it is virtuous to do so, not because he expects anything in return. This kind of generosity is grounded in integrity, not selfishness. When you give something with the expectation of return, you are no longer giving freely, you are bargaining. True generosity is about giving without strings attached. When you give out of genuine care, you create a space for authentic affection to grow. Chapter 6. Never allow your emotions to control your actions. Control your emotions, or they will control you. The Stoics believed that the greatest form of strength was emotional control. When your emotions control you, they dictate your actions and often lead to poor decisions. Whether it's anger, jealousy, frustration, or fear, when emotions are allowed to run unchecked, they can ruin relationships, damage reputations, and undermine your own self-respect. A Stoic man is someone who knows how to manage his emotions. He does not let anger dictate his responses, nor does he allow jealousy or fear to cloud his judgment. Instead, he remains calm, composed, and focused on what he can control, his own actions. When you allow your emotions to take control, you act from a place of weakness, not strength. Women are drawn to men who are steady and in control, who can manage their emotions in any situation. This does not mean suppressing feelings, it means responding to them in a rational, measured way. The challenge here is to develop emotional intelligence. Can you recognize when your emotions are getting the better of you and respond calmly and rationally? Can you maintain your composure even in moments of high emotion? Chapter 7. Never compete for her affection. A woman is not a prize to be won. One of the most damaging things you can do is to compete for a woman's affection, as if she were a prize to be won. In doing so, you undermine your own worth and dignity. Women are not trophies to be earned. They are equals with their own autonomy, choices, and desires. A Stoic understands that respect is the foundation of any genuine relationship. Competing for affection diminishes that respect and turns the relationship into a game. Instead, treat women as equals and let the connection grow naturally. If it's meant to be, it will be. But it should never feel like a competition. The Stoic challenge here is to recognize that your worth does not depend on a woman's approval or affection. Can you remain secure in yourself without needing to compete or prove your value? Chapter 8. Never act from fear or neediness. Fear is the enemy of true connection. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being alone, can cause men to act from a place of neediness. Neediness in relationships is a major turn-off because it signals insecurity. A Stoic man does not act from fear or desperation. Instead, he is driven by virtue and reason. When you act out of fear or neediness, you are relinquishing control to someone else. You're seeking validation or approval instead of trusting in your own value. Women are naturally drawn to men who are secure in themselves and their decisions, not those who are motivated by fear. The challenge here is to confront your fears head-on. Can you act from a place of courage, trust, and self-assurance, rather than from fear of rejection or neediness? Chapter 9. Never disrespect yourself or others. Respect is the foundation of all lasting connections. A Stoic man always acts with respect, for himself and for others. Disrespecting others or allowing others to disrespect you is a violation of Stoic principles. It undermines your integrity and damages relationships. If you cannot respect yourself, you cannot expect others to respect you either. The Stoic challenge is to live in alignment with your values. Do you maintain respect for others, even when it's difficult? Do you expect the same from those around you? Chapter 10. Never lie or deceive. Honesty is the cornerstone of trust. Lying, even in small matters, undermines your integrity and the trust others place in you. A Stoic man tells the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, because he values honesty above all else. When you lie, you not only deceive others, but you also deceive yourself. the Stoic challenge is to cultivate truthfulness in all aspects of your life. Can you be honest with yourself and others, even when the truth is hard to face? Conclusion: the Stoic path to meaningful relationships. The path of Stoicism offers powerful insights into how men can approach relationships with integrity, self-respect, and authenticity. By following these 10 principles, you not only attract genuine connections, but also cultivate the strength, peace, and wisdom that make you a man of true value. These lessons are not about playing games or adopting superficial tactics. They are about embodying virtues that lead to lasting, meaningful relationships. When you live authentically, with respect for